Let me begin with something that may shock you. Most people who are slowly developing type 2 diabetes don't even know it. For years, sometimes decades, their blood sugar quietly rises, their energy slowly declines, and their organs begin to suffer, all without obvious warning. And here's the truth that many don't hear often enough. This process is not only preventable, in many cases, it is reversible. As a doctor with decades of experience, I have seen patients transform their health, not with expensive treatments, but by understanding how their body works and making small, powerful changes. Today, I'm going to guide you through the most important mistakes people make that silently damage blood sugar and worsen insulin resistance, and how you can begin correcting them starting today. Let's start with the most common mistake. Many people believe sugar is the only problem, so they stop eating sweets, but continue consuming large amounts of white bread, rice, and processed foods. What they don't realize is that these foods quickly turn into glucose in the body, causing the same blood sugar spikes as sugar itself. Your body doesn't care whether that glucose came from a dessert or a piece of white bread. The effect is almost the same. I've seen patients proudly tell me they've quit sugar, yet their blood tests continue to worsen. Why? Because hidden carbohydrates are still overwhelming their system. Now let me explain what happens inside your body. Every time you eat high-carb or sugary food, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin's job is to move sugar from your blood into your cells. But when this happens repeatedly, day after day, year after year, your cells begin to resist insulin's signal. This is what we call insulin resistance. And once this starts, your body produces even more insulin to compensate. It becomes a vicious cycle. Another major mistake I see is constant snacking. People eat breakfast, then a snack, then lunch, then tea with biscuits, then dinner, then something sweet at night. What they don't realize is that every time they eat, insulin is released. When insulin stays elevated all day, your body never gets a chance to rest and reset. Think of insulin like a switch. If it's always on, your body cannot burn fat properly, cannot stabilize blood sugar, and cannot heal. Now let me share something deeply important. Poor sleep is one of the most underestimated causes of high blood sugar. When you don't sleep well, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol. These hormones directly increase blood sugar levels and make insulin less effective. I've seen patients improve their glucose levels significantly just by fixing their sleep, and yet many people ignore this completely. Then there's stress. Chronic stress keeps your body in a constant fight-or-flight mode. Your body thinks you are in danger, so it releases glucose into the bloodstream for quick energy. But in modern life, you're not running from danger. You're sitting, worrying, and that sugar remains in your blood. Over time, this leads to serious damage. Another silent contributor is lack of physical activity. Your muscles are one of the biggest users of glucose. When you move, especially through walking or strength activity, your muscles pull sugar out of your bloodstream. But when you sit for long hours, this system becomes inactive. I often tell my patients, your body was designed to move, not sit all day. Now let's talk about something that surprises many people. Even healthy-looking individuals can have poor blood sugar control. You might not be overweight, you might feel fine, but internally, your metabolism could already be struggling. This is why regular testing is so important. One of the early warning signs people ignore is constant fatigue after meals. If you feel sleepy, heavy, or mentally slow after eating, it may be a sign your blood sugar is spiking and crashing. Another warning sign is increased hunger, especially cravings for sweets or carbs. This is your body struggling to maintain balance. And then there is abdominal fat. Fat around the belly is not just a cosmetic issue. It is metabolically active and strongly linked to insulin resistance. It signals that your body is already under stress. But here's where things become hopeful. Because every one of these problems has a natural, powerful solution. In the next part, I will show you simple, doctor-approved strategies, things you can start today that can dramatically improve your blood sugar, restore insulin sensitivity, and protect your long-term health. Some of these methods may surprise you, and a few could completely change the way you think about food, timing, and daily habits. Now let's continue, and more importantly, let's begin fixing the problem. By now, you understand that high blood sugar and insulin resistance don't happen overnight. They develop slowly, but the good news is they can also be reversed step by step naturally with the right approach. Let me start with one of the most powerful and underestimated tools, timing your meals. When you allow gaps between meals, giving your body 3 to 4 hours without eating, you give insulin levels time to drop. This creates a metabolic environment where your body can start burning stored fat and restoring sensitivity to insulin. Even simple forms of controlled eating patterns like early dinners and avoiding late-night snacks can significantly improve blood sugar control. I have seen patients reduce their fasting glucose levels just by stopping food intake after 7 or 8 p.m. The body heals when it rests, and that includes your metabolism. Now let's talk about what you eat. One of the most effective changes is increasing fiber in your diet. Foods like vegetables, lentils, seeds, and whole grains slow down the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream. This prevents sudden spikes and helps insulin work more efficiently. Imagine pouring water slowly versus dumping it all at once. Fiber slows the flow of sugar into your system. Another essential step is adding protein to every meal. Protein stabilizes blood sugar, reduces cravings, and keeps you full longer. When you eat carbohydrates alone, blood sugar rises quickly. But when combined with protein, like eggs, yogurt, lentils, or lean meat, the rise becomes slower and more controlled. This is a simple but powerful change. Now here's something many people overlook: the order in which you eat your food. If you start your meal with vegetables, then protein, and eat carbohydrates last, you can reduce blood sugar spikes significantly. This works because fiber and protein prepare your digestive system, slowing down how quickly glucose enters your bloodstream. It's not just what you eat, it's how you eat it. Let's move to physical activity, but not in the way you might expect. You don't need intense workouts to improve blood sugar. Even a simple 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can dramatically reduce glucose levels. When you walk, your muscles immediately begin using glucose for energy, lowering the amount circulating in your blood. This is one of the easiest habits I recommend to my patients, and one of the most effective. Strength training is another powerful tool. Building muscle increases your body's ability to store and use glucose. The more muscle you have, the more storage space your body has for sugar, reducing its harmful effects in the bloodstream. Even light resistance exercises done a few times a week can make a significant difference over time. Now let's talk about hydration. Many people don't realize that dehydration can worsen blood sugar control. Water helps your kidneys flush out excess glucose through urine and supports overall metabolic function. Sometimes what feels like hunger or cravings is actually mild dehydration. Drink water regularly throughout the day. It's a simple but essential habit. Sleep, as we discussed earlier, is not optional. It is medicine. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. When your body is well rested, insulin works better, hunger hormones are balanced, and cravings are reduced. Poor sleep, on the other hand, pushes your body toward imbalance and increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Let me now share something deeply important, something I always emphasize to my patients. Consistency matters more than perfection. You don't need to follow a perfect diet. You don't need extreme changes. What you need are small, sustainable habits done every single day. Choose whole foods more often. Move your body regularly. Respect your sleep. Manage stress. Eat mindfully. These are not temporary fixes. These are lifelong investments in your health. And finally, let me speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who has seen the consequences of neglect and the power of change. High blood sugar does not just affect numbers on a report. Over time, it damages your heart, your kidneys, your nerves, your eyes. It silently steals your energy, your vitality, your quality of life. But here is the truth that gives me hope every single day. Your body has an incredible ability to heal. The moment you start making better choices, even small ones, your body begins to respond. Blood sugar stabilizes, energy returns, cravings decrease. You begin to feel like yourself again. So don't wait for a diagnosis. Don't wait for symptoms to become severe. Start today. Take a walk after your next meal. Drink a glass of water. Choose a healthier option. Go to bed a little earlier tonight. These simple steps may seem small, but together they can transform your life. And remember this: your health is not defined by your past habits. It is shaped by the choices you make today. Take control, stay consistent, and give your body the care it truly deserves.